Hey, it's Midge. Welcome to Devlog 4. Let the bodies hit the floor. Okay, so today we're going to go over death animations, persistent enemy corpses. Then I'll talk about the shell casing effects that I added. I also made some changes to how the bullet and wall collisions work. And then I'll wrap it up with some of the bugs that I found and fixed. Okay, so starting with the death animations, I made death animations for all the enemies and the player. Death animation, death animation, death animation. Death animation. So creating new animations was a little bit different for me. I don't really consider myself much of an artist. I started this project using a base tile set by dungeon tile set by 0x72, a wonderful tile set. And at first I was only doing very simple modifications, but really using the assets as they came. I was using paint.net, which is a fantastic image editor. It's very intuitive, but I really did not have a good workflow for animation. I switched over mostly to Sprite for animation, and that has been wonderful. My productivity has increased a lot, and as I get more comfortable with the program, I'm making more original art. So that's been great.
I employed some chiaroscuro shading.
So next up after death animations, quite literally, is persistent enemy corpses. This is one of those things that I added trying to chase that game feel, trying to make a juicier game. It replaces a script I had called Fade and Destroy, and what that would do is it would stop the animation, so they would just kind of freeze up and then they would fade away. So now instead of that happening, just the last frame of the death animation, just the corpse just sits there and stays there until the level is over. If I were reaching for a theme for this devlog, it would probably be something about like persistence. Helps the player feel like they're changing something. The next bit I'm going to be talking about is going to be the bullet casings. But they persist. You're changing the environment. You're adding something, and that helps the players enjoy the game, I think. Okay, talking about those bullet casings and their persistence. I got to say, for this update, this is probably my favorite thing that I've added. It's just so satisfying to be running around shooting guns and having the brass flying everywhere. I don't want to say I did this the stupidest way possible, but I might have. I was originally looking at particle systems, but that seemed a little bit heavyweight and making them persist. I don't know. I didn't end up doing that, and then I watched another tutorial about meshes, and I don't know how to use meshes yet, so I just didn't want to put the effort in there. And I realized the only thing that's stopping me from doing this was I just felt like there were better ways to do it, but eventually I said, screw it, I'm just going to do it the dumb way. And it seems like it worked. I spawn a sprite object, I give it a rigid body. I kind of fake when it hits the ground because this is all pseudo 3D, it's kind of fake 2D. But it's worked really well, and I've been a little concerned about performance issues, but I haven't seen any problems yet. When the casings stop moving, I remove the rigid body, I remove the collider, I remove all the heavyweight stuff. So maybe it'll be a problem later, but as of so far, it seems to be alright. And I gotta say, the sound effects are I think, awesome. I'm gonna shut up for a second and let you listen to them. But yeah, you can hear the regular bullet casings, but my personal favorite, the shotgun shell drop is really satisfying. So I mentioned earlier I made changes to the bullet wall collisions. So what this problem was if you look at the back wall of a room, the bullets would collide at the very bottom of the wall, and that looked kind of stupid. It would make sense for the bullets to collide, like torso height, halfway up. So I changed how that works, and now they hit much closer to the middle. One of the consequences of this was you can kind of shoot around corners from the top, which looks somewhat realistic, but this also introduced some weird bugs, like you could shoot in the gaps between doors, and some other random things that I had to fix. But I changed this because it was bugging me. I think it's pretty decent now. It's not perfect. It's still fake 3D, but I think it's better than what it was before. Bugs. Alright, so remember my beloved teleporters? It turns out that some of those changes to the bullet wall collisions conflicted with the teleporter behavior. The colliders specifically. When you're in the mini-map and you're trying to teleport somewhere, it was hitting the new bullet wall colliders which I did not intend. It was easy to fix once I figured it out, but it was annoying. And this kind of stuff makes you feel crazy because like, I swear it was working before, and then you add something else that you don't think is going to interfere, and sometimes it does. Some other flaky behavior with the teleporters. I found out you could actually teleport to rooms that you hadn't been to yet, as long as it was close enough on the mini map. That was easy. It was just disabling the teleporters to rooms that you hadn't been to. Not just the display, but also preventing them from being used. Yeah, those are the big ones. That's it for today. As always, thank you for watching. Until next time.